My next one, so this one probably really would be my like second recommendation. Vast of Night would definitely be number one. But I put Ready or Not at like my second one just because they're basically polar opposite sides of the spectrum. You have the slow burn creepy versus the fast run slasher, gross out type thing. And my third one, which would be my second one, is also the kind of slow burn creepy, and I didn't want to put two of those back to back, and it's The Witch. I believe it came out in 2016, and the story revolves around this like family from the 17th century. They're definitely in New England somewhere. It's a family of farmers, and they're very like puritanical. And there's a little boy that's like the smallest one, just like toddler age. There's two twins that are a little bit older, maybe around 10ish somewhere, and then there's an older sister that's probably teens, and again, because it's a movie, probably played by a 30-year-old. It's Anna Taylor-Joy. But anyways, and then you've got mom and dad, and the oldest daughter is supposed to have been watching the youngest, the son, and she's kind of whimsical and a dreamer, and the boy disappears. Well, being puritanical, first of all, she fell down on her job, so everyone's mad at her. The kid's missing, probably dead, because if he's missing in this time and gone for several days, he's probably eaten by wolves or something. The two twins are accusing her of being a witch and witchcraft and casting spells and doing horrible things and saying like she sacrificed him for this and that and the other. And as they go on, stranger and stranger things start happening, which leads the parents into believing more and more and more that maybe this girl is, dealing with the devil, and maybe she is doing things. And but it's this kind of descent into madness type thing. So you start out and it's just worry. How do we find this kid? How do we, get him back? And then it becomes the blame game, and who do we blame for this? But as they begin to manifest, as they begin to make up things about her to try to shift the blame to her so they have someone to lay the blame on, things start to happen that are more kind of supernatural than actual. And you're like, but are they faking this to try to make her look bad? Are the kids trying to blame her? Are the parents, projecting onto her? But it is brilliantly done. It is, again, one of those amazing pieces of cinema you just don't get anymore. We've talked about this several times, but over the last few years, I think it was 2017 when we sat down to make our best of the year list, and we're like, okay, I got two. And it just didn't feel like, whatever that year was, it just felt like there was a cutoff, and then we stopped making, more cinematic pieces, and we're just making.
And it may be just that we didn't see them. And that's quick to say that.
And we have said that before also, that they usually exist. They're just maybe not the marquee blockbuster, movies that they used to be. And I think this one definitely falls into that category. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It's not like a hidden treasure thing, but I don't think near enough people saw it. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And there's definitely the creep factor, but the brilliant thing about the whole show is the fact that you're basically following this teenage girl, and you feel for her. She's just trying to do, as far as you can tell and see, oh no, my little brother is gone. And just because she's maybe not the hardcore farmer, but she's more of the dreamer and I want to be a princess and whatever, then she doesn't actually say that. Sorry, it's my interpretation. But because she's not hardcore into, I'm going to get up and churn the butter and I'm going to be responsible and the goat's got to be fed this time or whatever,
right,
then it's very easy to blame her for things that don't go as they should. And because of that, not only do you get a horror movie with this like supernatural element, but you get a great character piece where you're following her and you feel for her, and then you kind of go back and forth like, well, maybe she is just too willy-nilly for the life you had to live back then. And it actually reminds me, and it's a great one, but I would not put on the list of haven't seen it, would be It. Because if you took all the horror elements out of it, and again, I didn't find anything in it scary, I'm just too desensitized, but if you took all the horror elements out of it, it still would have been a great movie because it's the story of those kids and the coming of age. And I think The Witch is the same way. If you took out the horror elements, it would definitely be lacking something, but it would still be a great story. If it was just them trying to find the kid and blaming the girl and whatever, it would have been a great movie anyways. You throw in a little horror stuff and it's even better.
It gives it that icing that just makes it.
Absolutely. Definitely need to see that one.
I have to say, the It 1 and 2 or maybe the best remake I've seen. Possibly. I don't know. That might be worthy of a list sometime. Best and worst remakes.